Coach Thompson, welcome to our weekly show. This is 8. Can you believe it's week 8 already?
Man, I'm thankful to be here.
Thankful to be here in week 8, still playing football.
Man, that feels good.
Yeah. Of course, this week the Rockets, our schedule has changed numerous times over the past 8 weeks. And now before the season, nowhere on our radar was Henderson County. Now all of a sudden we have the Class 6A number 7 Colonels that we're going to go face this weekend. And tell us just a little bit about how all this transpires and what it's like behind the scenes trying to get a game.
Basically all you can do is reach out or let it be known that you're looking for a game once you lose one. And that's what we did. Coach Courtney does a lot of that because I guess he understands that there's a lot more that I deal with as far as athletics right now than just football. So he does a good job of making sure that we get in contact with teams and make things happen. The Henderson game comes about. Me and Josh, I would consider as friends.
Josh Boston, the coach,
yeah,
who was at Union.
Yeah, he was at Union, and basically I just reached out to him and just, let's just play,
And anymore, reach out means you're going to send a text, right?
Yeah.
Or call.
Yeah. Well, I text him. He called me.
Yeah.
But what it does is it's an opportunity for the kids to play. I'd like to have a home game, and they'd like to have a home game. But what it did was our originally scheduled game with Todd County Central, we cut that travel in half. So, that's a win for us because we were supposed to play on the road this week anyway. And it's even a closer trip than Hancock, so it's not.
And they were on the schedule briefly.
Yeah, for
tentatively.
a day or two.
Yeah.
A day or two. Yeah. But it is what it is. We get to play football tomorrow night, and that's what it's all about.
Of course, the Rockets are ranked number 6 in Class A, and Henderson County ranked number 7 in Class 3A. Now, the Colonels are,
6A.
What did I say, 3A? Yeah, 6A.
It's one of those days.
Colonels are a pretty doggone good football team we're going to play this week. They're the number 1 rushing team in the state of Kentucky in 6A, and then their quarterback's a number 3 rusher in 6A. So, they average 308 rushing yards per game, and we've given up 425 all year.
Yeah.
So it may be
seems like a good battle of strength.
Good battle of strength. We've got some clips here. I'm going to play those in the background.
and looks like they play some man type stuff and also some quarters match type stuff, and try to stay and play, do their jobs. They're very disciplined. We're just going to have to find the holes in the defense and find a way to keep the ball moving.
Again, if you look at what our starting defense has given up this season, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 points. Our offense has given up almost as much as our first-team defense has. So this is a game certainly we will be tested.
Yeah.
Not that we hadn't been tested, but
sure.
We'll certainly be tested this week.
And that's what you want. You want to, especially this time of year, this is a good opportunity to go out and play against a really good football team and see what it's like later in the playoffs early. Just to know what you need going into the playoffs. They're a team that can come out and expose our weaknesses and try to take advantage of some things and then give us things that we need to work on, But make no mistake, we're not going into this game sitting here saying we're going to learn about ourselves. We're going to let Henderson County show us what we're lacking, We're going in to win just like we do every week. And that's the mentality of our kids, and it always is, So we'll continue to have that same mentality. We'll go play football.
This is certainly a game that, competitive-wise, that we would expect to see maybe in 4 weeks. Regional championship, the state semifinals, which is we have aspirations for. So going out and picking up a team like Henderson, clearly, the 6A only means you have more students in your school, which certainly plays to your ability for depth. It may not mean, I've said all along, across the board, our first 5, 6, 7 players are probably just as good as their first 5, 6, 7 players. Then you start running into that depth, even when you get down into 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, they can run more guys in and on the field. But you look at their numbers, they only have 2 more guys on the roster, I think, than we do this season.
Yeah. It's not about how big of the school you are, what class you play in. Typically, yes, 6A is going to be more competitive than Class A. But if you're a good football team and you believe you're a good football team and you believe you belong on that field on any given night, and you do your job, you have a chance. You have a chance, and that's how we go into every game. I don't care who we're playing.
Sure.
We have a job to do, and that's what we're going to try.
I'll take a moment to thank our partners in our broadcast. Of course, I mentioned this before. Our broadcasts include not only this coach's show, but we have the podcast. We also have our website, and then we also do the broadcast of games. And we'll talk a little bit more about some changes coming in that in just a moment. But I want to thank Whitetail Properties, our primary sponsor, for all of our broadcasts, and that's Sean's Uncle Mark. Mark Williams is the agent, and he specializes in hunting property, but he can handle any real estate deal whatsoever. So if you have any need to buy or sell real estate of any kind, talk to Mark Williams. He's the Whitetail Properties agent for not only Crittenden County, for all of West Kentucky and Tennessee, and I think maybe even some southern Illinois and Indiana. He's has a big circle he runs in. Also, like to thank First United Bank. If you're ready to switch banks, give them a shout. Deer Lakes Golf Course, home of the Rockets. Sea Plant Federal Credit Union, now on Main Street. Johnson's Furniture, your top choice for sales and service. And Ellington Detailing, where we keep the Rockets looking sharp. Coach Thompson, I want to get first of all into the situation we have at running back now. Of course, very tragically, just my heart goes out to Xander Tabor, who was on the cusp of becoming one of the top 3 running backs. Numbers-wise, when you start looking at the numbers, he's still, in our hearts, he's a not top 3 guy. But he was getting ready to move from number 5 up to 3 really quickly. Some of the guys in front of him, and is not going to get that opportunity. Explain about what happened to him at Russellville for those who don't know.
About the 4th offensive play, he got rolled up on, his right ankle got rolled up on, and it just broke it.
We didn't know at the time. We
hoped
didn't know. It was a sprain.
Yeah, we were hoping for sprain. That's what you always hope for when the ankle gets rolled up. But he told us, that night, and before we even got him off the field, that he felt a pop. Which that still can go in line with the sprained ankle. But anyways, it ended up being broke when he went to the orthopedic, and and not just broke. He got the news of needing surgery, so he's going to have surgery next week. And the thing that we can do for X is keep it going.
Yeah.
Is play for him.
Right.
Just like we play for each other each week, and let him continue to know that he's a part of that. It doesn't change things because you have a broken ankle now. He's been very valuable to our team for the past 3 years, and I tell the kids all the time, make sure you do everything, you give everything you have, every play for your brother. You know what I'm saying? And you never know when that last play is. So it's not all about me. Take care of each other, and then give everything you have.
Well, injuries are so much a part of football. We know that, and we know you're going to have them. We've been fortunate over the years. I guess you can probably count on two hands the major injuries that we've had in the last 20, 25 years. Ronnie Moss comes to mind when he blew out his knee going into his senior year. And then,
that's a good example to bring up. You talk about X being on the cusp of, being in the top 3 all-time rushing and all that. And every time I hear someone talk about top running backs in Crittenden County history, Ronnie's a name that always comes up.
Right.
If you turn the record,
if you look at those numbers, he's
not in there.
He's maybe 5, 6 somewhere in there.
Well, we're talking that top 3 that you brought up, and that's why I explained to Xander. People know who you are and what you've done. They'll always know that, because of the work you put in. So, that's the big thing.
And has been
one of the top running backs Crittenden County's ever had.
Sure, and been on a team that's that has won 4 straight district championships, and it's a team we'll talk about for ages to come, or somebody will.
For sure.
So, you may be around a lot longer. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm old.
We'll take this opportunity real quick to thank some more of our sponsors. I'd like to thank Par 4 Plastics, where our team is rocket proud. Shara Solutions on the New York Stock Exchange. Homestead Realty, when you're buying or selling real estate. Farmers Bank, your trusted hometown bank since 1899. And Riley Tool Machine, where they're grinding away for Friday nights every day out at Riley Tool Machine. Coach Thompson, with Xander Tabor out, we saw last week Cade McAllister came in, changed the tempo a little bit. He's maybe got a little quicker first, second step. He's not as big and as strong as Xander. How does that change us offensively? And then also, what does it do to us defensively? Because Caden's a full-time starter on defense where Xander was not.
Yeah, so I'll start just talking about Caden, the type back he is. Like you said, he's a quicker back to the hole, or where the hole should be. Caden runs with the same attitude that he plays defense with.
It's a bad attitude.
Yeah, he's just he runs angry, and that is a skill set in itself. Whereas Xander is more patient. He's a guy that understands, especially with some of the zone stuff that we do, or the traps and stuff like that we do, that it might take a little more time. And he tries to slow play that stuff. So that's the difference you see in them two running. But they're both two very good running backs. Caden's going to run. If there's not a hole there, he's going to give you a yard. That's what you're going to get. And that's great, What it does, though, is makes our depth less depth, where, you're a play away from your offense and defense changing with him playing so much, which is how Crittenden County's played for however many years. It's nothing new. It just watching the game, you're not going to see a difference. It makes Ian Ellington have to play more defense, and that's okay because he's a dog on that side of the ball too, But other than that, I don't know that it changes us. We can still run everything we've run. You'll see T-Bone play a little more offense and see him playing some positions that he hasn't played this year. But that was coming regardless.
Yeah, we
you
talked
start
about
getting,
that.
You start getting to that time of year. We've made it. We're here. He's 100%. We haven't wasted him early, and it's time to start seeing him anyway. So you'll see
and
him.
you kind of
come
keep
out.
him hidden too.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
For sure.
Pretty nasty little weapon to pull out here at the end. That they know he's there, but they really hadn't seen it.
The thing about it is he's got so many big plays in him.
Yeah.
And you want to make him meaningful.
Sure.
History says that if he has to play a full load, a full season, he hasn't made it through one.
Yeah, the injury there.
And that's a lot of that is luck. But for me, I want to have him as long as I can. I want to have him in December and us be playing in the state championship. Yeah. That's my goal.
Right.
And we've been able to develop guys in doing so.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're ready to play as well. So, just throwing him in that mix just adds a whole nother weapon.
Mm-hmm. And we talked on the podcast on Monday about the line, how well they played last week. From my little spots on the sideline, which is kind of hard to see. I haven't looked a lot of film like you guys have, but I told Benjamin, my son, after the game, I said, that's as good as I've seen a Rocket line play in a long time. Deacon Holloman, first time to start. He was your player of the week up front on the line, and he stepped in for Counts, who was injured. So just the play up front's really got sharp.
Yeah, they play with an attitude. You hang around those Ian Ellington and Dylan Yates type guys long enough, it starts to rub off, and they're all starting to fire off the ball and really create a new line of scrimmage for us, which is what you need. They got a tall task this week, because if I had to pick a strength of Henderson's defense, it'd be their defensive line, and their linebackers play pretty decent as well. So they have a big job this week, and I think they're up for the task.
Yeah, Jack McIlvain is number 44. He's one of the linebackers, but probably one of their better defensive players. Number 4, you'll see him this week, is Leighton Fletcher. Yeah. He can
very physical defensive end, and moves well. He's all over the place, makes a lot of plays for him. Looks like he plays with an attitude. It looks like the kind of guy that I like. A guy that's out there. Just excited about just making you pay, and I like that. So hopefully that we keep him contained and out of our backfield.
And right in the middle of their line, it looks like a bigger version of Preston Turley. Yeah. He's Kobe Reed. He's 6'5", right at pushing 300 pounds. So he's a load.
Yeah, their two defensive tackles are very strong, physical guys. They're going to hold you up and keep the linebackers clean. They do a good job of that. So we got to make sure that we don't allow them to create penetration, and the way our guys have been doing it, they can do that, and they just got to go out and take care of it, work together as one, and make sure their eyes are up and they see everything.
Of course, we talked about how well they run block last week, but also pass blocking has come a long way. I know you all work on that a whole lot, and really protecting Luke Kreider, our quarterback this week, is going to be key to this game.
Yeah, for sure. Henderson, they play straight up a lot, from the film that we have. They're not bringing a lot of exotic pressures and stuff. They play straight up. They do a good job of it. Very technically sound team. So we have to make sure that we protect Luke and give him opportunities to keep his eyes downfield and not have to pull the ball down and run or check down, because they do play very sound defense, and they do their jobs, and they do it with a 4-man rush a lot of the time. So we just got to make sure that we keep him clean, let him make the plays that he needs to make.
Well, speaking of check downs, let's check down on our sponsor list here on our partners for all of our broadcasts. Al Starnes, Coldwell Banker. He's always a rocket. H&H Home and Hardware, your everything store in Marion, Kentucky. Marion Eye Care Center, Adria Porter, optometrist. Frazier and Massey, attorneys at law in Marion. And the Magnolia Bank, Derek Myers, your mortgage specialist, and also our rocket cannon fire and our boom guy. We'll be glad to get home next week and play a football game, Coach Thompson. Do we have anything on the radar for that game? I know next week you're kind of standing your ground on this one. We agreed to go to Henderson this week and let this be a home game. We were going to be on the road anyway, but next week you're standing your ground. We want a home game or what?
We're going to play at home, or we're not going to play. Next week, it's just it doesn't it doesn't make sense for us to continue to be the team to give and travel. You know, we're a good team. We're a good game for anyone that wants to play because we want to play. But we're going to play at home next week, or we're not going to play. It's just
only two. We've only had 2 home games so far. We've been
Yeah.
on the road every week.
Yeah.
So yes, we need a home game next week. And we want to mention too that we've been broadcasting these games on YouTube. And we mentioned this a little bit last time, but moving forward for our home games, we're going to be on the National Federation of High Schools network. So there's going to be a little fee. You're going to have to subscribe to that. That's this is through the umbrella, I guess you would, association in charge of all athletics. They have their own system. Schools all across the nation. So if you buy a month subscription, it's $11. I think it's $10.99. You can watch any game in the country that's on this network. So going forward for the home games, you will have to subscribe. It will not be on YouTube free. On the road, as of right now, we're still planning on doing the road games on YouTube. We'll be able to do that, but at home, we'll be on the National Federation of High Schools. You can go get the app. Have you checked it out? It's pretty impressive the way this Pixelite camera works.
Yeah, I've looked at the camera. There's still some research to be done for me as far as understanding how it all works and making sure it's available for the fans. But we'll get that done soon, hopefully. Time is hard to come by.
It's time
weird.
between
It's
these are troubled times.
Yeah, time is everywhere, but you can't find it.
I've always said if I could afford some extra time, I'd be broke.
Yeah, me too. If Brittany let me spend it.
Yeah. Let's check in one more time here on some of our partners. YTG Insurance, call for a quote today. Mike and Stoner's Barbershop, where a haircut is always an experience. Mulligan's Pizzeria and Pub, where they're watching the game every Friday night. And Max 2 Custom Tent and Detail, they have moved out onto Orb Taylor Road. And speaking of Tanner and Mike, they will still be bringing you the coverage of this. Mike Crabtree and Tanner Tabor, former Rockets, will still be your on-air personalities, if you will, commentating, bringing you the play-by-play of those live broadcasts. Coach,
just talking about them, did you watch the playback of the game Friday? They got excited again. You had calmed them down a little bit because when they got excited, it was crashing. They got excited again.
Well, I think a lot were excited.
Yeah, my thing is, I think that you just need to let them be excited all the time.
Yeah,
that's the way we need to play. They're part of the team.
Sure.
Yeah, let them go. Don't hold them back, Coach.
Well, we shouldn't have those kind of technical difficulties now, maybe with this new system.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Coach Thompson, going into this football game, you walk around town and you're getting everything all over from A to Z, alpha to omega on, some people are saying, let's go, hey, this is a game we can be competitive in. But you hear some of the people kind of shrug their shoulders down, drive by, I can't believe we're playing a big old 6-18. Bottom line is just football. These kids are fortunate to be playing, and if we didn't play, Henderson would be sitting home watching somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, unless we wanted to go to Eastern Kentucky on Friday or tomorrow, this was our opportunity to play close to home. And I've said it numerous times today, I don't care who we play. All right? I don't care. The kids don't care. They want to play football. Mm-hmm. The summer, that's what every coach in the state of Kentucky said. We just want the opportunity to play. We want to give these kids the opportunity to play. They've worked too hard not to. Mm-hmm. And we get to play on Friday. Yeah. We get to play against Henderson County. Yeah. That means absolutely nothing because the ultimate goal is to play a football game. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. No matter who it is. It doesn't matter. It's okay.
And most of our fans watching this, the observers and followers of Rocket football, and I know you understand it, and I certainly do. I've watched this group of kids, the kids who are seniors. I've watched them since they were, in kindergarten when they came up playing flag football, and through this all, the moment is never too big for this bunch. They can handle anything.
For sure, they can go compete. And it's funny. You hear people talk. Well, they're going to be a lot bigger than what you're used to. What? we have guys that are big. We got guys that are bigger than that.
Sure.
We got guys. you can only play 11 people at a time. You know. Now, do they have more kids or the opportunity for
Sure.
more kids? Yes, but I don't look at it that way. If you believe you belong on the field, you belong.
They pick their 11 out of a couple of thousand
Yeah.
kids. We pick our 11 out of 400. That's the
Yeah.
only difference.
And the one thing I love about this team is the physicality they play with. So as long as we continue to play the way we have said or made the standard of Rocket football this year, we can go out and have a chance anytime we step on the field.
Friday night kickoff, 7 o'clock. I know there are not any fan tickets available, right?
No, there's not. COVID, and the I know it's different each week. 1 week there's more opportunities than the next. It just is what it is. The home team chooses, and I don't think they're definitely not doing any different than for their. I saw what they put out for their fans is that their players get 2 tickets, just the same as our players get 2 tickets.
And we're taking a smaller squad this week, right?
Yeah, we aren't
Travel
taking
squad.
any of our injured guys that haven't been in practice, and we're not taking a group of the freshmen.
Well, we have not played Henderson County. Crittenden County football has not played Henderson County since 1963, and that was the year that the Rockets won their first regional championship later that year, and then ended up losing the state semifinals to Shelbyville on the road. But Henderson is certainly a formidable opponent, and we're excited to go up and play the Colonels. Just wish more people could go.
Yeah.
If you can't go, be sure and tune in on YouTube, Crittenden Press website channel on YouTube, and check it out.
If you yell at the screen loud enough, I can hear you. So make sure you help me out.
Yeah, we need all the support we can get, and we're looking forward to a little better weather too. It's been a tough week practice.
Man, the kids know me really well, so they're looking for my reaction. I stood in the rain yesterday, and I said a lot of words in my head that didn't come out. But they know. They look at me. They come in and see how I'm dressed before practice. They'll just peek out of the locker room after they get dressed and see what I'm wearing and think they know what kind of day we're going to have.
They know how long it's going to last anyway.
Hey, when the rain starts coming down, I'm quick to any door to go inside.
Hey, look, if you don't enjoy cold weather, it's hard to enjoy postseason football in the state of Kentucky. So you're going to have to get used to it because we like this.
I sit at the state championship games and I watch every one of them. I sit outside every year, so just trying to get used to it because that's the ultimate goal.
That's
every
right.
year.
That's right.
If I made it there, the adrenaline rush might put me in shorts. I don't know.
You never know. All right, Coach Thompson, we'll be excited to see how we do against the 6A Henderson Colonels, the number 7 team in Class 6A. We'll see you Friday night on YouTube.